Hey everyone in class. So the topic I chose was software testing because it's basically what I do currently, and kind of explain like how that works, what it does for you. So a lot of times a company will make a game and then they go through a development cycle, or software development life cycles. SDLC is the abbreviation for that. And during that process, usually there's different variations of the model, like the software development model. The one I'm most familiar with is Scrum, with Agile. So basically, what that means is that um, a team of developers and testers, and usually sometimes business analysts, depends on the structure of the whatever you're working on, will meet every day, um, and go over what they're where they're at in the development. The testers say, okay, this is where what I'm testing. This is where we want to maybe running into, things like that. And usually those they call them sprints. They usually last between 2 to 4 weeks, and basically they work on a set of stories and then those stories just need to be completed within a 2 to 4 week span. Um, so the work is not overloaded, and then the projects can be refined, and then there's a lot of testing that can be, if they need to revert code, they can, or if a tester has an issue, they can go from there. Something of that nature. Um, and basically once they get through that, why they're testing the game, or whatever software it may be, um, they'll go into, when they feel like the game's still not like fully complete, but they're offering it for other people, and what they'll do is which is called is user testing, like, or UAT, user acceptance testing. And basically what will happen is they'll release a game at different stages. Usually, like when a game is being done, it's released in, say, like an alpha stage, and that's usually a very small group of people that are selected to play that game or test that software. And they'll go through and do that. And while they're going through, um, um, then after that's done, those players will give feedback, and they usually will include, like, they can report a bug, they can talk about that, and go from there. After that, usually you go into a beta testing where there's a more is much broader. So there's like a larger player base that allows it's almost open to anyone to basically signs up for it. They may have a limited slots, but they can go from there. And what's happening from there is that those players are going to give criticism, and then they're going to say, okay, this works, or this quest is bugged, or we would like to see this feature in there. This would make more sense. Um, from there, and then basically after that, they'll close that beta testing, and what they'll do from there is they'll do what's kind of like they'll do some more development, and then they'll release the game, for example. And then from there, they do some, you do post development, and usually you'll have like staging environments or quality environments where the people go in and they'll create the build of whatever they're adding to the game or the software or whatever, and a software tester would go in there and test that and then give feedback and document all the steps that they're going through, and say they add a new feature to where the person can do X items. They also need to make sure that all the original functionality works, which is called regression testing. um, and this is very useful because then it ensures that all of the base stuff that the game should be doing, or program, or whatever you may be testing at the time, works correctly. And then from that, and that's a continual thing. Like, games can continually be tested and go from there. Um, some games, also games are also showcased and grow in popularity, and testing is also kind of like live game testing. It says that's where streamers and like communities come and play, and they can build off that, and and then when those communities are formed, those communities can give recommendations of things they would like to see in that game, or events, like esport events, say like Halo, for example, Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering, Call of Duty, Overwatch. I mean, there are so many games that are like out there in esports, and esports is a huge market. It is actually growing more and more as time is going by. Um, and I think software testing is really fun, but also the fact that games I think are healthy. They are an outlet for some people that really have in-person social anxiety that gets them to get in touch with people, but they're still feeling comfortable within their own space and home, and that's really important. So yeah, I mean that's kind of like a quick rundown of like software testing and what it does for the game industry and how the game industry affects people and communities and some of the processes that go with that. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and thanks class, and I look forward to seeing your guys' stuff as well.